Imagine walking into a lawyer's office, expecting comfort after losing the two people who raised you. Instead, you walk out feeling like you've been erased. My name is Elena Brooks, and 3 months ago, my parents died in a car accident on an icy mountain road. I was 28, still grieving, still sleeping in the same childhood bedroom because I couldn't bear to leave the house empty. The day of the will reading, I wore the same black dress I'd worn to the funeral. My older brother, Liam, arrived in a tailored suit, flashing that easy smile he always used when he wanted something. The lawyer cleared his throat and began reading. To Liam Brooks, the family estate in Willow Creek, valued at $800,000, the investment portfolio, the vintage car collection. I waited for my name, but it didn't come. Then he slid a single sheet of paper across the table and said, "To Elena Brooks, the old hunting cabin on Blackwood Ridge, as is." I just sat there, staring at the words. As is, lawyer speak for broken, leaking, worthless. Liam didn't even look at me. He just smirked and said, "Guess Mom and Dad always knew who could handle responsibility." That sentence burned through me like acid. I drove to that cabin alone that night, rain hammering against my windshield like it wanted to punish me. The dirt road turned to mud, and my tires spun as I forced the car forward. When I finally reached the place, the roof sagged, the windows were cracked, and the front door hung off one hinge like it was too tired to stand. I sat on the rotting porch and cried until my throat burned. Why me? I was the one who stayed, the one who cooked Sunday dinners, who held Mom's hand through chemotherapy, who skipped college trips to take care of Dad when his heart started failing. And Liam? He hadn't visited in 4 years. He sent postcards from yachts. But in the end, he got the mansion, and I got splinters and silence. That night, something inside me changed. It wasn't just grief anymore, it was rage. Cold, sharp, and clear. I wasn't going to let this be the end of my story. I didn't know what I was going to do yet, but I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't finished. But what I didn't know was that this worthless cabin held something that would change my life forever. And the moment I found it, I would finally understand why my parents did what they did.
The next morning, I came back with a flashlight, work gloves, and a heart full of spite. If Liam wanted to play favorites from beyond the grave, fine. I'd prove I didn't need his inheritance. The air inside the cabin smelled like damp earth and old secrets. The floorboards creaked beneath my boots, and the walls groaned as if whispering their own memories. I ripped down cobweb curtains as dust floated through the air like ghosts. I started in the kitchen, if you could even call it that. There was a single rusty sink and a stove that looked older than me. Behind it, I noticed a loose wooden panel, just slightly crooked, like it was hiding something. I pried it open with a crowbar, and my heart nearly stopped when I saw a small metal box inside, locked tight and covered in dust. I took it outside and smashed it open against a rock, my hands trembling as the old lock gave way. Inside the box was a yellowed envelope and a brass key. The envelope had my name written on it, in Dad's handwriting. My heart was pounding as I opened it, and his words made my breath catch. "Elena, if you're reading this, we're gone. I'm sorry for what the will says. It's not what it seems. The cabin isn't the gift. What's under it is. Use the key, follow the map. Forgive us. Dad." I unfolded the paper behind the letter, a hand-drawn map of the property with a trail leading deep into the woods marked by an X. I stared at the ornate brass key in my palm, heavy and old, like it belonged to something important. Then, right as my thoughts spun, my phone buzzed with a message from Liam. "Sell the dump, Elena. I'll give you $20K to disappear." I laughed. Bitter, broken laughter. He had no idea what I was about to find. Grabbing a shovel from the shed, I followed the map into the forest. The path was overgrown, branches clawing at my clothes as the wind whispered through the trees. After 20 long minutes, I found it. A rusted iron hatch buried under moss. The key slid in like it had been waiting for me. I pulled it open and stared into the darkness below, where a ladder disappeared into the ground. The air smelled metallic, cold, and ancient. I climbed down, flashlight trembling in my hand. When the beam hit the floor, my heart stopped. Rows and rows of wooden crates lined the underground chamber, each stamped with faded military markings. I pried one open. Gold bars, dozens of them, stamped 1943 U.S. Army Reserve. Another crate was full of cash, bundles of $100 bills, crisp and untouched. I dropped to my knees, surrounded by more wealth than I could imagine. Later, I'd learn it was worth $50 million. But at that moment, all I felt was fire, burning through every ounce of pain I had carried. My parents hadn't left me a broken cabin. They'd left me a fortune, hidden from Liam, hidden from the world, and now they'd left me a choice. I didn't tell anyone what I found. Not yet. I sealed the hatch, covered it with branches, and drove home in silence, my mind spinning faster than my heart could keep up. $50 million. Gold from World War II, hidden beneath a cabin my parents had pretended was worthless. It didn't make sense, but one thing did. They had trusted me, not Liam. Over the next few days, I did my research. The land had been in our family since 1890, with full mineral rights attached. The gold was real, the cash still valid, and everything under that ground was legally mine. Meanwhile, Liam was online showing off his new mansion, posting pictures with captions like, "Hard work pays off," #blessed. Hard work. That made me laugh harder than I had in months. I decided to play the broken sister for a while longer. I cried on the phone when Liam called, and I let him offer fake comfort. "You'll be fine, Alina. Maybe get a job or something." Every word only fueled my determination. He thought he'd won, but he had no idea what was coming. Quietly, I hired people, a private appraiser, a historian, and a lawyer specializing in unclaimed assets. They confirmed everything. The gold was authentic, the cash still legal tender, and since the land was mine, so was everything underneath. No loopholes, no disputes. Just mine. That's when I started planning. Revenge, I realized, didn't have to be loud. It just had to be precise. I didn't want to hurt Liam physically. I wanted to destroy the illusion he'd built his entire life around. I wanted him to feel small, powerless, and exposed, the way he made me feel the day I got that will. A week later, I texted Liam. "Found some old photos of Mom? Want them?" He showed up the next day in his shiny car, wearing loafers and a Rolex that screamed insecurity. He looked around at the cabin and sneered, "Still slumming it, huh?" I smiled, sweet and broken, and said, "Let me show you something." I led him out back to the hidden hatch, brushing away branches like I'd done 100 times in my mind. His eyebrows rose when he saw it. "What the hell is this?" he asked. I handed him the brass key and said, "Dad left it for me. Said it was junk, but go see." His curiosity got the better of him, and he practically ran down the ladder, flashlight in hand. I followed him down slowly, my phone recording the whole thing from my pocket. When he saw the first crate of gold, his jaw dropped. He tore open another one and another until he turned to me, eyes wild, whispering, This is mine. They left me the mansion, but this." I cut him off. "Actually, the will says the cabin and everything on its property belong to me, including what's under it." His face went pale. "You're joking," he stammered. "You can't even afford taxes on this dump." I smiled and held up an official document, the appraisal report. $50 million, already in a trust. My name only. Then I showed him the video on my phone.
him opening the crates, greed written all over his face. "Here's the deal, Liam. You can walk away quietly, or I send this to the IRS, to the press, to your investors. Golden boy steals sister's fortune." Catchy headline, right? He lunged for my phone, but I stepped back. "Try it. It's already uploaded to the cloud with a timed release." For the first time in his life, Liam Brooks didn't have a single word to say.
Liam left the cabin that day with nothing but mud on his shoes and panic in his eyes. 2 days later, he tried to challenge the will. His lawyer contacted mine, but once we sent them the letter, the map, and the appraisal, the case was dismissed instantly. It was over before it even began. Then everything started to fall apart for him. His business partners began to question where his money came from. One by one, they pulled out of deals. His Instagram bragging made them suspicious. All those #blessed posts didn't age well once people started asking questions. And when the truth caught up, it came fast. Turns out, he had taken massive loans against his new mansion, counting on future inheritance that never came. The bank foreclosed within months. He lost the cars, the property, the so-called friends who used to toast to his success. I didn't lift a single finger. I just watched from a distance, calm and quiet. By then, the cabin wasn't a wreck anymore. I'd restored it. New roof, solar panels, wide windows overlooking the forest. I could finally breathe there. From that same porch where I once cried, I donated the first $1 million to a grief foundation in my parents' name. It felt right, poetic even. Liam showed up one last time, drenched from rain, face hollow and desperate. "Elena, please," he said, "I'm your brother." I looked at him, really looked. All the arrogance was gone, just a broken man who'd mistaken love for weakness. "You taught me something," I said quietly. "Family isn't about what's on paper. It's about who shows up. You didn't, so neither will I." Then I closed the door. Today, the cabin isn't just a cabin. It's a retreat. I rebuilt it into a sanctuary for women who've been counted out, divorced, disinherited, discarded. We sit by the fire, tell our stories, and remind each other that loss isn't the end. It's a beginning. The $50 million, most of it's gone now. In trusts, scholarships, clean water projects. I kept enough to live well, but not enough to forget where I came from. One day, while sorting through the last of the crates, I found another envelope, another letter from Dad. "We knew Liam would chase shiny things, but you, Emma, you chase meaning. The real treasure was always you." I sat there for a long time, holding those words. I cried, not from pain, but from relief. For the first time, I felt truly seen. They had believed in me all along, even when I didn't believe in myself. Their choice wasn't punishment, it was trust, and I had finally proven them right. The gold beneath the cabin was real, but it wasn't the real inheritance. The real treasure was the strength I found when everything fell apart. So here's what I've learned. Betrayal doesn't define you. What you do next does. The world will try to hand you broken cabins and call it your worth. Sometimes there's gold underneath, but more often the gold is you, your heart, your resilience, your refusal to stay buried. If you've ever been left behind or overlooked, don't sell yourself short. Dig deeper. And if you're the one doing the leaving, remember, karma doesn't need a map. It always finds its way home. Hey, before you go, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. And how did this story hit you? Like if you felt the twist. Share if someone needs to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.